Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Welcome back to Research Methodology course. So today we're going to look at topic 3, research background and problem statement. So let's look at the learning outcomes of this class. So at the end of this class, students should be able to prepare a research background, identify problem statements, and generate research questions for this area that you want to study. So let's look at how to prepare a research background. Okay, a research background is an overview of your topic of research. Okay, so it is a section what you want readers to know about your research. Research background is a general information about your topics, okay, which is related to what is happening now, about your issues you want to study and others. Okay, so you need to emphasize, okay, the issues, okay, general information and general issues in your area interest. Okay, secondly, the research background is actually a context of your topic, which is related to what are the conditions, settings, situations with the respect of your topic. Okay, so you need to know what is the current situation of your topics, what is the previous situation of the topics, okay, and then who are directly or indirectly involved. Okay, and then research background also emphasize the rationale or justification of your topic, okay, which is related to why should the readers pay attention to your topic or the issues you want to study or address. Okay, so you need to emphasize why the reader need to focus on the issues that you want to address in your study. Okay, so secondly is the research background also related to why should the readers care about your topic, and then why is there a need to focus on the topic, right? Okay, so to write a research background, so one time saving approach to background and preparatory reading is by selecting just a few key books or articles initially on the chosen topic area, and use this as a base for identifying other relevant texts as a starting point for your information search. So usually you need to select a few key books for preparing your research background, and then after that, from that key books or research papers, okay, or articles, okay, it will link to other related articles as well. So let's look at how to prepare a research background. Okay, for example, a research title number 1, which is biohydrogen and biomethane production from food waste in a two-stage anaerobic digestion process with digested recirculation. Okay, so first you need to have a paragraph that explain a broader research area. Okay, and then after that you need to also emphasize the current literature on the research area. Okay, so in the current literature area you need to include some outcomes from the previous research, and then you also need to emphasize the important findings from the previous research as well. So, and then after that, you need to also highlight the gaps in the research area. For example, this research, they emphasize that some previous studies giving different results for two-stage recirculation approach produced biohydrogen and biomethane. So this research was carried out to clarify the principle and practices of the two-stage recirculation approaches for hydrogen and methane production. Okay, and then you need also to highlight in the research background the significance of the gap. So you need also to highlight the rationale and hypothesis of the study. This is the flow of writing research background, and you can follow the flow when you write your research background. You also can refer to other examples that I provided in the additional materials, okay, in these topics. Let's look at subtopic 2, okay, how to prepare problem statement. So a problem statement is a description of an issue that needs to be researched to see whether a solution can be found. Okay, so writing a problem statement should help you clearly identify the purpose of the project you will propose. Okay, and then it also serves as the basis for the introductory section of your final report. So it will direct your readers' attention quickly to the issues that your research project will address. Problem statement should be short and concise. So one page is more than enough for a good problem statement. So a problem statement consists of three parts. Okay, the first part is the idea, which is related to explaining how things should be. Okay, secondly, the reality, so which is related to how the current situation falls short or the goal or ideal. And then the third is on the consequences, okay, which is related on the identifying the way you propose to improve the current situation and move it closer to the goal or ideal. So let's look at the body of a problem statement. We look at example for research title number 1, which is biohydrogen and biomethane production from food waste in a two-stage anaerobic digestion process with digested recirculation. So let's look at the problem statement for this research. The first part is the ideal. Okay, in this problem statement, if you can see here, okay, it emphasizes the ideal of the situation for the biomethane and biohydrogen production. So in particular, combining the advantages of rapid thermophilic and stable mesophilic anaerobic digestion has drawn wide attention in this two-stage system because of the benefits which can be achieved. One of the key factors required for the hydrogen production is the maintenance of the pH at an optimal value pH of 5.5 through the addition of alkaline substances. So this is the ideal situation. Okay. So what is the reality? Okay, the reality is commonly the volume of alkalis used to maintain the pH affects operational conditions. For example, OLR, HRT, the acidity of the substrate, and the entire process. Okay, as reported in early work, pH can be maintained by adding alkalis at the average quantities of 18, 28, 26, and 44 milliliter per liter reactor for HRT of 15, 10, 5, and 3 days. Okay, so sodium hydroxide was used as it was the best alkali compared with respective to carbon hydroxide. Okay, so this is the reality. So that means, okay, the reality, they add the sodium hydroxide, okay, in the reactor, okay, to maintain the pH. So what is the consequences of adding pH? Okay, so although alkali improves anaerobic digestion performance, okay, the use of alkali has a cost, and moreover, increasing the alkali dose reduces biogas production because of the bacteria inhibition due to the high concentration of sodium ion or calcium ions. By adding the alkali, okay, so the consequence on the process is actually reducing the biogas production because of the inhibition of the bacteria. Okay, then what is the proposed solution? Okay, however, digested recirculation can be proposed to maintain the pH in the hydrogen producing stage. It was reported that recirculation in between the two stages was able to control pH and to reduce chemical costs, especially when the process was treating large amounts of waste. So you need to follow the flow, okay, the ideal, okay, section, and also the reality section, and also the followed by the consequences section and the proposed solution. So the proposed solution you need to relate to your study. So let's look at the research questions. Okay, so specific research questions should be developed based on the research problems. This will be determine the scope of the study that want to be researched. The example on these slides is actually based on the research problems that we have stated in the previous slides. The problem statement from the previous slide, which is alkali reduces the production of biogas because of the bacterial inhibition due to high concentration of sodium and calcium ions. Okay, the use of alkalis to maintain pH affects the operational conditions. Okay, for example, OLR, HRT, the acidity of the substrates, and the entire process. And then the third problem statement is related to the increase of food waste, leading to the critical problems such as health risk, environmental pollution, and scarcity of the dumping land. So the research question that you can generate from the problem statement is, okay, can recirculation of digested control the pH in the two-stage system of biohydrogen and biomethane production from the food waste? So what is the optimal, the second question is, what is the optimal conditions for the recirculation system of two-stage biohydrogen and biomethane production from the food waste? Okay, the third research question that you can generate is, how much of the organic content removal of the food waste can be achieved from the recirculation of the two-stage biohydrogen and biomethane production system. So from the research question that you generated, okay, can lead you to the objective of your research. So you can do your research question for your study and try to follow the flow of doing the research question. So that's all for today. Okay, thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.